going on, everyone? What you're looking at here is my bodybuilding push-pull workout, and I don't really have any set plans right now in terms of my program. I'm still kind of deciding exactly what I'd like to hop onto. I've done some programs in the past, and I've tried variations on them too, and mostly I've done bodybuilding for a good year or so, and more recently I've gotten involved into powerlifting. So here you can see just really a workout where I'm just trying to keep my heart rate up, and everything is supersetted. So I go straight from the overhead press there with the 225 plates and move into wide grip pull downs, and just trying to keep my heart rate up with these. Oh, there you see Omar dodging the camera. What up, Omar, if you're watching this? So here you can see I'm just hitting my sternum when I bring it down, and I could hold it at the bottom a little bit more, but it's not like it's heavyweight, and it's not like this is, it's kind of almost like a warm-up. Moving into the overhead press, 135. Now these, they don't feel as comfortable as they should, and it's mostly due to the fact that I had a rotator cuff tear going back about, I'd say 8 or 9 months now. So I'm still slowly healing up from that, and whenever I do these movements I do feel kind of a pinch in my shoulder and even a little bit in my lower back as a result of the shoulder injury. Shout out to Jason, just walked by there. Buddy of mine from Fortis Fitness. So you can see more wide grip pull downs, and I could probably get a bit more of a gangster lean going on these, just lean back and really hit the sternum a bit more, but I am wearing gangster wraps too, so I don't know. I'll work on it next time. About these gangster wraps, I'm pretty pleased with them. I've had them for about a month now, and they're obviously made by Mark Bell. If you're not familiar with Mark Bell, he's a power lifter, but these are pretty good. They're holding up much better than my last pair, and a lot of people say that some of this gear tends to cost a lot. I mean, you see me rocking the Adidas Addy Powers there too, but you know what, it's all about the quality, and if the product has quality to back it, good reviews, tons of people saying it's great, I mean, you can't deny that. You gotta just succumb to it and go ahead and pick up some gear. Not gear, but workout gear. So here you got my first working set, 225, and what I was actually doing was 5 sets of 5 on the bench, and when I'm immediately done these 5 reps here, I move over and superset with actually face pulls, which you're going to see in a moment. But really what I'm doing on this bench is just trying to really hit my chest, do the touch and go thing, or sorry, hit my sternum. And there's the face pull. So again, just the reason why I'm doing this is, and the reason why I'm supersetting this is, mostly I just want to hit the opposing muscle group. So like all the upper back, rear delt, a little bit of trap work, some scapular work there, and it's mostly to strengthen the rotator cuff, or strengthen my shoulder due to that rotator cuff injury. I find that I need to do some of these exercises, some of these rehab type exercises to support thoracic extension and things like that. But you can see my second working set of 5, and again I'm just trying to have consistency when it comes to my setup, and just make sure that I'm consistent in my lift as well. I mean, when you have a consistent setup like that, I just really think it's important. It translates into your lift, and you'll have consistency there as well. So back over to the face pulls. These aren't very heavy weight. It's mostly just really about me feeling out the muscle and squeezing it right there. So I mean, that's sort of what's important to me here. I don't know what this girl on the left is doing either. So back over to the bench, and you can see here, so my setup is really like this. I just kind of like pump my arms back to kind of like stretch, and then I do this like velociraptor thing where I'm pinching my lats and I'm like falling back on the bench and arching my back. At that point I dig my feet in, so I dig my heels into the ground and try and get nice and tight, nice and comfortable. Here I was a little bit more squirmish than I would have liked to be. I hate doing that because I feel like you do bleed out a lot of power when you're not fully locked down and tight in the lift. But I got it done. It was alright. I actually think if I'm not mistaken, I think I missed the 5th rep on this. I think I actually only did 4. And I don't even recall why. It actually looks like, and I think it felt like I could have gotten the 5, but I just kind of bailed on it for some reason. So moving over to the pendlay rows, and I've just started doing these. You know, ideally I'd like to do it not with the bumper plates because they tend to bounce back, but you know, the gym is busy, and when you're doing supersets, you know, you don't want to be an asshole and walking, you know, from one piece of equipment to the next, and you know, especially when it gets crowded, you know, it gets a little bit too busy to be doing that. So, you know, I just stuck over to this CrossFit area here, and the Olympic. Yeah, it's kind of like a CrossFit meets Olympic lifting area of the gym. Now I'm doing some chest flies, and I'm doing it in a crossover fashion, and the reason being is I'm actually just trying to focus on squeezing out the muscle. And you know, this isn't really high weight. This is really just kind of like a burnout. These are almost like burnout sets at the end of my workout, really, just to make sure I got the good work in on my chest. After that, went back over to the rows, and here you got 185. Still doing a little bit of bouncing, but I'm trying to let the weight really, you know, set before I move it again. You know, after a certain point, I just started getting frustrated and just kind of like just almost dropping it, you know, towards the very end of the lift, and just letting it rest for a sec before lifting it up. You can see right there. And then back over to the flies. So here I'm not actually doing them as crossovers. I think I upped the weight just slightly, and you know, again, I'm just trying to really just squeeze it out. So it's not so much about the heavy weight for this exercise for me. I really love these cable flies, and the reason being is just because I can really feel it, you know, in my inner pecs, say, and just the upper pec area. Back over to the rows. Here it looks like 225. And the reason I'm doing these rows is just because I feel that I want to improve my strength at the mechanical disadvantage points. You know, really to improve my deadlift, you know, more than anything. So you can see here, this would be a point which would be really at a mechanical disadvantage, because you know, you're obviously hunched over, you're leaned over, you got to remain tight in the movement. And I'm just working on explosiveness by trying to get that weight up to myself. And I'm actually dropping it at this point just because I'm not too concerned about the, you know, just the lower, sort of the, I guess that the dropping of the weight, it just doesn't really, you know, it's not really part of the exercise that I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to work on explosiveness. Killing it off with some cables again. And, you know, I'll be posting more of these workouts, you know, bodybuilding, powerlifting, and I'll even post some other stuff outside of the gym. You know, I film all this stuff with the GoPro for some of you that have been asking. But if you have any questions, leave it down below, comments, like the video, do all that good stuff, and take care.